When she comes back after silence, the most dangerous thing is not her message. The most dangerous thing is the part of you that wakes up when you see her name because you thought you were calm, you thought you had healed. You thought the silence made you stronger, you thought you were no longer waiting. But then one message appears, one simple hey, one how have you been, one I was thinking about you, one I missed talking to you. And suddenly the old version of you starts breathing again. The version that wants to reply instantly, the version that wants to ask if she missed you, the version that wants to tell her how badly the silence hurt, the version that wants to turn one small message into a full relationship conversation, the version that wants to believe this is finally the moment she realized your worth. That is where most men lose, not when she left, not during the silence. They lose when she comes back and they answer like a man who has been starving for her attention. So before you reply, listen carefully. Her coming back does not automatically mean she is ready to love you correctly. It does not automatically mean she has changed. It does not automatically mean she regrets everything. It does not automatically mean she wants commitment, accountability, honesty, or a real repair. Sometimes she comes back because she misses your attention. Sometimes she comes back because another option disappointed her. Sometimes she comes back because she is lonely at night. Sometimes she comes back because she wants to see if you are still emotionally available. Sometimes she comes back because she feels guilty but not ready to take responsibility. And sometimes, yes, she comes back because she truly realized she lost a good man. But your job is not to guess from hunger. Your job is to stay calm long enough to let the truth reveal itself because the first message is not the answer. The first message is the knock. What matters is what happens after the knock. A needy man sees her message and treats it like a miracle. He replies too fast. He writes too much. He says too many emotional things. He asks too many questions. He tries to force clarity in the first conversation because he has been carrying months of pain inside him. And she feels it. She feels that he did not really become stronger. He only became quieter. Do not be that man. If she comes back after silence, your first job is not to win her back. Your first job is to not lose yourself again. That is the whole game. Because silence can build you, but one emotional reply can take you back to the old version of yourself. One desperate message can erase the frame you worked so hard to rebuild. One hungry response can tell her that your silence was never self respect. It was waiting. And waiting is not power. A man does not regain respect by chasing the moment she returns. He regains power by staying calm, stepping back emotionally, controlling his reaction, and letting actions prove what words cannot. So when she comes back, breathe first. Do not reply from shock. Do not reply from anger. Do not reply from hope. Do not reply from loneliness. Do not reply from the wound. Put the phone down for a moment and ask yourself one question. Am I about to respond from peace or from panic? That question can save you. If your chest is tight, wait. If your hands are shaking, wait. If you are imagining the whole relationship coming back in 1 second, wait. If you are angry and want to punish her, wait. If you are desperate to know what it means, wait. A mature reply sent later is better than a weak reply sent immediately. You are not playing games by waiting until you are calm. You are leading yourself, and a man who cannot lead himself cannot lead a conversation after silence. Now, if she says something simple like, hey, your response should be simple. Hey, hope you're doing well. That is enough, not cold, not desperate, not dramatic. Enough. If she says, how have you been? You can say, I've been good, focused on life. Hope you're doing well too. That is enough. If she says, I was thinking about you, you can say, I hear you. What made you reach out? That is strong because it does not beg, it does not attack, it does not chase. It invites clarity. If she says, I miss you, you can say, I hear you. What do you miss? That is calm because you are not rejecting her, but you are also not falling at her feet because she gave you a feeling. A small message is not a full return. A hey is not accountability. And I miss you is not change behavior. A late night text is not emotional maturity. A woman touching the door is not the same as a woman walking through it with clarity. Remember that. Because most men lose power by treating small signals like final proof. She sends one message and he thinks she wants me back. She says she misses him and he forgets the months of confusion. She asks how he is and he starts planning the whole comeback in his mind. Do not let hope outrun reality. Hope is good, but hope without standards can ruin a man. Hope makes him wait too long. Forgive too quickly, sees too much, chase too hard, accepts too little. You need hope, but hope must be led by truth. Truth says she reached out, but I still need to watch her actions. Truth says she may miss me, but missing me is not the same as respecting me. Truth says I can be open, but I do not need to become easy. Truth says I can care, but I will not return to confusion. That is the frame. Now, the first mistake men make when she comes back after silence is replying like they have been waiting the whole time. They write, I knew you'd come back. They write, I missed you so much. They write, I haven't stopped thinking about you. They write, why did you leave me like that? They write, do you still love me? They write, I can't believe you finally texted. And even if those feelings are real, the timing is weak because when you pour all your emotion into the first reply, you tell her that she still has the power to pull everything out of you with one message. That is not masculine control. That is emotional flooding. A grounded man does not unload months of pain in the first conversation. He lets the conversation breathe. He does not pretend nothing happened, but he also does not throw the whole past at her instantly. He stays calm enough to see why she is really there. That is important because sometimes she comes back to reconnect, sometimes she comes back to test access, sometimes she comes back to feel validated. Sometimes she comes back because she lost another source of attention. Sometimes she comes back because she is curious, not committed. Your calmness helps you tell the difference. If you become emotional too fast, you cannot see clearly. You become intoxicated by the return, and a man drunk on attention will accept almost anything. Do not get drunk on attention. Watch the pattern. If she reaches out, then disappears again. That is information. If she says she misses you but avoids responsibility, that is information. If she is warm at night but cold the next day, that is information. If she wants your comfort but not a real conversation, that is information. If she only asks questions to see if you are still available, that is information. A grounded man does not argue with information, he adjusts. Now, the second mistake men make is punishing her when she comes back. They act cold, they act superior, they insult. They say, now you want to talk? They try to make her feel small. They want revenge because they were hurt. But that is not strength. That is pain trying to wear a crown. If you need to hurt her to feel powerful, she still controls you. If you need revenge to feel masculine, she still controls you. If her message brings out bitterness, you have not healed as much as you think. A strong man does not need to punish. He can be calm and still have standards. He can be respectful and still not be easy. He can listen and still protect himself. That is real power. So when she comes back, do not chase her, but do not attack her either. Stay centered, not desperate, not bitter, Kentered. That balance is rare. Most men swing between begging and bitterness. First they chase, then they act cold. First they overlove, then they punish. First they give too much, then they pretend they do not care. That is not emotional control. That is emotional instability. A mature man does not need to swing. He can say less and mean more. He can be warm without being hungry. He can be open without being available for confusion. He can be calm without being weak. That is the energy you need when she comes back. Now, the third mistake men make is asking for certainty too quickly. She reaches out and immediately he wants answers. Why did you leave? Did you miss me? Were you with someone else? Do you regret it? Do you want me back? Where do we stand? Some of those questions may be valid later, but if you ask all of them too early, the conversation becomes heavy before you even understand her intention. A grounded man does not rush to force clarity from vague effort. He lets the level of her effort determine the level of his investment. If she comes casually, he stays calm and light. If she comes seriously, he listens seriously. If she brings accountability, he allows a deeper conversation. If she brings confusion, he does not try to fix it. That is maturity. You are not trying to drag a woman into seriousness. You are watching whether she brings seriousness on her own. Because if she truly wants to repair, she will not only give emotion, she will show intention. Intention sounds different. It does not just say, I miss you. It says, I've had time to think. It says, I know I hurt you. It says, I understand why you stepped back. It says, I want to talk honestly. It says, I do not expect you to trust me immediately. It says, I am willing to move slowly. That energy is different from a random hey at midnight. Do not treat them the same. A late night I miss you may be emotion. A calm, accountable conversation may be maturity. Now the difference. Now, what should you actually do if she comes back? First, regulate yourself before you answer. Calm your body, breathe, walk, put the phone down. Do not let a notification take control of your nervous system. Second, respond simply. No paragraphs, no emotional unloading, no begging, no punishment. Third, observe her next move. Does she continue the conversation with effort or was she only checking access? Fourth, let her reveal intention. You do not carry the whole conversation. You do not become the engine. You do not make her small effort into a full relationship repair. Fifth, move slowly. Trust is not rebuilt through one message. Trust is rebuilt through repeated behavior. That is the basic frame. Now, here is what many men do not understand. If she comes back after silence, she may be testing whether your silence changed you or only restrained you. There is a difference. A restrained man is still needy inside. He only kept quiet because he thought silence would work. The moment she returns, his neediness comes back. A changed man is different. He has rebuilt his center. He does not need her message to feel alive. He can welcome a conversation without losing his peace. He can hear her out without handing over full access. That is the man you must become. Because if she returns and meets the exact same man she left, the same pattern will likely repeat. She pulls away, you chase, she gets cold, you explain, she gives little, you give more. She sends a small signal, you open the whole door. She becomes unclear, you become anxious. That cycle ends when you stop playing your old role. So when she comes back, do not ask only, what does she want? Ask, who am I going to be right now? That question matters more. Because her return can reveal whether you have actually grown. Can you stay calm? Can you avoid over talking? Can you not beg? Can you not punish? Can you not ask for certainty from a vague message? Can you watch actions? Can you protect your peace? That is the real test. Now let us talk about the message, I miss you. Because this one is dangerous. When a man has been silent for a long time, I miss you can feel like victory. It can feel like proof. It can feel like the answer to everything he suffered through. But I miss you is not always enough. Missing you may mean she misses your attention. She may miss your comfort. She may miss your patience. She may miss the feeling of being loved by you. She may miss having someone who cared, but missing you does not always mean she is ready to treat you correctly. Missing is emotion, readiness is behavior. Missing can happen in one night. Readiness shows up over time. Missing can send a text. Readiness respects your boundary. Missing can say, I miss you. Readiness says, I understand what happened and I am willing to rebuild trust with actions. That is the difference. So if she says, I miss you, do not immediately say, I miss you too, unless it comes from a centered place. And even then, do not let it become a flood. You can say, I hear you. What made you reach out? That keeps the conversation open, but grounded. If she is serious, she will answer with more clarity. If she is only emotional, she may become vague. Let that reveal itself. Now, what if she says, I want to talk? That can be good, but stay calm. You can say, we can talk. I'm open to a calm conversation, but I'm not rushing back into anything. That line protects your frame. It says you are not bitter. It says you are not desperate. It says you are open, but it also says access is not automatic. That is important because if she hurt you, ignored you, left, or created confusion, she does not get full emotional access just because she returned. She gets a conversation, not the whole castle. Trust has to be rebuilt. Now, if she asks, do you still care about me? Be careful. That question can pull you into proving. A weak man hears it and rushes to reassure. Of course I do. I never stopped. I still love you. I was waiting for you. That may be honest, but it gives too much too soon. A grounded man can say, I care, but I also care about my peace now. That is powerful. It tells the truth without surrendering your frame. If she says, you changed, you can say, I had to. The old version of me kept losing himself. If she says, you're acting different, you can say, I'm more careful with my peace now. If she says, I thought you would reach out, you can say, I chose not to chase something that was unclear. These are not games. They are calm, honest statements. They show maturity without begging. Now, if she comes back with guilt, do not fold. She may say, so you just stopped caring? She may say, you forgot me fast. She may say, you never really loved me. She may say, I guess I meant nothing. Do not let guilt pull you back into old behavior. You can care and still step back. You can love and still have boundaries. You can miss her and still refuse confusion. You can forgive and still move slowly. That is maturity. If she tries to make your boundary look like cruelty, stay calm. You do not need to defend yourself for choosing peace. You can say, I did care. That is why I had to step back when the situation became unhealthy for me. That is enough. Do not argue for an hour. Do not over explain. Do not let her guilt become the steering wheel. A man with a center speaks clearly, then watches behavior because behavior tells the truth. If she respects your boundary, that is information. If she mocks it, that is information. If she takes accountability, that is information. If she only wants access without responsibility, that is information. Do not fear information. Fear ignoring it because you want the fantasy back. Now, if she comes back while she is with someone else, your standard must be strong. Do not become the hidden option. Do not become the emotional backup. Do not become the man she texts when another man disappoints her. Do not share emotional access with someone who is still attached elsewhere. If she says she misses you, but she is with someone else, you can say, I understand, but I'm not going to be involved while you're with someone else. That is clean. That is mature. That is self respect. If she wants to be with him, let her be with him. If she wants a serious conversation with you, she needs to be clear, available, and respectful. A man with standards does not stand in the shadows of another relationship. He stands in clarity or he walks away. Now, if she comes back and apologizes, receive it calmly. Do not punish her. Do not say too late. Do not use the moment to make yourself feel superior. Just listen. You can say, I appreciate you saying that. Then watch behavior because an apology is a door opener, not a full repair. A real apology is followed by changed behavior. A shallow apology is followed by the same pattern. Do not confuse words with transformation. If she says, I'm sorry, but then becomes defensive when you talk about what happened, watch that. If she says she cares but still communicates inconsistently, watch that. If she says she wants to rebuild but rushes you to forget, watch that. If she respects your pace, takes responsibility, and shows consistency, watch that too. Do not be cynical, but do not be blind. That is balance. Now, if she comes back and you still want her, do not shame yourself for that. You are human. Missing someone does not make you weak. Wanting a repair does not make you weak. Being open to a conversation does not make you weak. The weakness is not caring. The weakness is abandoning yourself because you care. That is the difference. You can care deeply and still move slowly. You can want her and still require clarity. You can miss her and still watch actions. You can forgive and still protect your peace. That is emotional maturity. Now, the 7 day reset after she comes back is very important. For the next 7 days, do not let her message destroy your routine. Do not check her stories to decode her mood. Do not reread the conversation 100 times. Do not ask mutual friends what she is doing. Do not post to get her reaction. Do not make emotional decisions at night. Do not send another message if she has not replied. Do not abandon your training, work, sleep, discipline, or faith because she opened the door a little. Keep your life moving. That is how you prove you are not the same man. The old man paused his life around her attention. The new man keeps his life moving even when she returns. That is the difference. Train your body even if your mind is distracted. Do your work even if you are curious. Sleep properly even if you want to think all night. Walk when anxiety hits. Brought what you feel, but do not send from panic. Put your phone away before midnight. Build your day before your emotions build it for you. This is not about pretending you do not care. It is about proving that her return does not own you either, because many men learn how to survive her absence, but they do not learn how to survive her return. Her absence made them chase. Her return makes them collapse. You need to be strong in both. Strong when she is silent, strong when she is back, strong when she is warm, strong when she is unclear, strong when she says what you wanted to hear. Strong enough to not lose yourself in either direction. That is real control. Now, understand this deeply. You do not need a perfect reply, you need the right frame. A perfect line with a weak frame will still sound needy. A simple line with a strong frame will land differently. Four is the energy behind your words. If your frame is, please choose me, she will feel it. If your frame is, I am open, but my peace matters, she will feel it. If your frame is, I have been waiting for this moment, she will feel it. If your frame is, I am calm either way, she will feel it. So before you worry about what to say, fix where you are speaking from. Speak from peace. Speak from standards. Speak from self respect. Speak from the man you became during the silence, not the man you were before it. That is the key. Now, what if she disappears again after coming back? Do not chase. Do not send, "Why did you text me if you were just going to disappear?" Do not ask what you did wrong. Do not spiral. Do not try to revive the conversation. Take the information. She came back, checked the door, and left again. That tells you enough. A grounded man does not chase someone who reappears only to create confusion. He simply returns to his life. No drama, no emotional collapse, no paragraph, just distance. Because your peace is worth more than decoding someone's inconsistency. If she wants clarity, she can bring clarity. If she wants conversation, she can participate. If she wants access, she can show consistent effort. You are not carrying the whole connection anymore. That is the new rule. Now, let us talk about meeting her in person. If she asks to meet, do not make it a dramatic reunion in your mind. Do not cancel your whole life. Do not go in starving. Do not expect everything to be fixed. Do not rush into physical closeness just because the chemistry is still there. Keep it simple, calm, public low pressure. Your goal is not to win her back in one meeting. Your goal is to see who she is now. Did she show humility? Does she take accountability? Does she ask about your life? Does she respect your boundaries? Does she avoid responsibility? Does she only talk about feelings, or does she talk about actions? Does she want to rebuild or only feel comfort? These things matter because chemistry can come back fast, but chemistry is not trust. Attraction can return quickly, but attraction is not maturity. A warm moment can feel powerful, but a warm moment is not a change pattern. Move slowly. A man who rushes after silence often returns to the same pain because he lets emotion outrun truth. Do not let that happen. Now, if she is genuine, what should you look for? Look for consistency. Look for accountability without excuses. Look for patience with your pace. Look for clear communication. Look for respect when you do not instantly open the door. Look for effort that continues after the first emotional conversation. Look for maturity when difficult topics come up. Look for change behavior over time, not perfection, consistency. A woman does not have to be perfect to deserve a conversation, but she does need to be sincere if she wants access again. And sincerity is proven through behavior. Now, if she is not genuine, what will you see? Vague messages, hot and cold energy, late night emotion, no accountability, defensiveness, guilt, testing, disappearing again, wanting comfort without clarity, wanting your attention but not your standards, wanting the old version of you who made everything easy. If you see that, step back, no drama, no punishment, no insult, just standards. You can say, "I'm not available for confusion anymore." That is enough. Then let the silence return. Because silence is better than being pulled back into a cycle that already hurt you. Now, the biggest truth is this: when she comes back after silence, do not make her return bigger than your growth. Her message is not proof that you are valuable. You were valuable before she messaged. Her apology is not proof that you mattered. You mattered before she apologized. Her missing you is not proof that you are enough. You were enough before she missed you. If you forget that, you will hand your power back. So stay centered. Listen, but do not rush. Care, but do not chase. Be open, but do not become easy. Watch actions, not just words. Let consistency prove what emotion claims. Because consistency reveals what emotion hides. Emotion can happen in one night. Consistency shows up over time. Emotion says, "I miss you." Consistency says, "I respect what I broke, and I am willing to rebuild trust with actions." That is what you watch. Now, tonight, if she has already texted you and you are tempted to reply from panic, do not put the phone down. Stand up, drink water, walk, breathe, train if you need to. Pray if faith is part of your life. Write the message in your notes first. Write it back. Ask yourself, does this sound like the man I became or the man I escaped? That question matters because the woman coming back is not the final test. Your response is. Do not let one message bring back the old weakness. Do not let one soft word erase your standards. Do not let one "I miss you" make you forget the pattern. Do not let one moment of comfort pull you back into months of confusion. Respond like a man who has a life. Respond like a man who has peace. Respond like a man who can care without chasing. Respond like a man who knows that his attention has value. That is the man she did not expect, not the man who begged, not the man who folded, not the man who waited by the phone like his whole identity was trapped inside one notification. The man who hurt but stayed composed. The man who cared but did not abandon himself. The man who wanted her but did not make her return the measure of his worth. The man who turns silence into strength, pain into standards, and absence into direction, that man is hard to manipulate. That man is hard to replace. That man is free. So remember this. When she comes back after silence, do not reply until you are calm. Do not reply until you understand the difference between emotion and intention. Do not reply until you remember that a small message is not a full return. Do not reply like a man who is waiting. Reply like a man who is building. If she brings clarity, you listen. If she brings consistency, you observe. If she brings accountability, you respect it. If she brings confusion, you step back. If she disappears again, you keep walking, because the deepest truth is this: her coming back is not the victory. The victory is becoming a man who no longer loses himself when she does. And in the next video, you will learn the exact signs her comeback is real and the quiet warning signs she only returned to test your emotional access.